somebody could write a really interesting little history of how feminists became fixated on the credit card issue, because I never heard about credit cards until about a year and a half, 2 years ago. And suddenly on Twitter, everybody was accusing me of not caring that, up until 1974, women couldn't get credit cards. And I've tried to research that issue because I suspect that, like every other feminist talking point, it is an outright lie. And I can't really find anything. I have found no proof that women were regularly denied credit cards. Well, I have found claims that single women could be denied credit cards and a credit card, and that married women had to get their husbands' signatures on their cards. I have found no proof that women were denied any more often than men were. I mean, for one thing, why should, is having a credit card a human right? You have to get a credit card, you have to be a good credit risk. So unless you have proof that you have a history, that you have an income, that it's steady, that you pay your debts, no credit card company owes you a credit card. And let's face it, in the 1950s, when credit cards were first invented, so they haven't been around very long, and the 1960s, a lot of women didn't work. And naturally, a married woman who had no income of her own would have to have her husband's signature on the card that she was going to use to, charge up a whole bunch of things, because the husband would be the one who would end up paying for it. So let's not pretend.
Right. That's what I've heard, that because the men are responsible for women's debt in so many cases. Of course.
Yes. I mean, that was the case throughout the 19th century. Nobody knows how many thousands of men were imprisoned in debtors' prisons because their wives charged up things that they had to try to pay for. Yep. And let's not pretend that women are always the best managers of money. History of the 19th century in Great Britain is the history of voting rights being progressively extended to a larger and larger swath of men. The idea that they wouldn't eventually have been extended to women without feminism, without any feminist agitation and demand at all, is very hard to prove, I would think. It doesn't make sense that those rights wouldn't have been extended.
Without feminism, none of us would be around this table, because Stephen wouldn't value our voices.
Absolutely.
Like, in the nicest possible way, if you were a man in the 50s, would you invite 3 women on effectively like a TV radio show?
The look on his face is incredible. It's like, gee, simp harder. I mean, I really wish he could have just kept an absolute, the only expression he could have had to that ridiculous claim was just, for feminism, he would have thought women were subhuman and he would never have had them on his show. You know what he should have said to them was, I'm black. And in the 1950s, if it weren't for blah, 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 you guys wouldn't have been talking to me as white women. If you're going to get the feminist game, you're going to find yourself trapped by the intersectional feminist game, because more than one person can play that. I mean, it's just such nonsense. It's a slander of men. It's not true. And there were all sorts of, and as for the 1950s being such a terrible time, Betty Friedan, who it was mentioned by Commissar, who said that life in the suburbs was a comfortable concentration camp. Right. She lied about her own life.
I feel we should look at, feminism got us here, and now what would we like next?
Me.
What do we want now?
Yeah, that's right. Of course. We get this more to get.
I thought you'd like that, Janice. I thought you'd like that.
God.
We like next. All these authors that they look up to, the feminist authors, like, when did they write? When they didn't have voices? Were these voices nonsense that you didn't hear? It's
they shame men and they shame women who don't want to go as far as they make preposterous pronouncements that people are afraid to contradict because they make them with such confidence. And anybody who does try to argue is, you hate women, you want rules to restrict women, and people are
you want women to go back into the kitchen.
Yes. Oh, terrible.
And I'm always like, what's so bad about the kitchen?
Yeah.